Hello, Capricorns, and welcome to this, your May 15th through May 31st reading and predictions. You'll notice that I'm in a different and new location yet again. As I mentioned last month, my son and I are in the process of moving around. We have gone mobile, which means that I'll be coming to you from different locations on a regular basis. I'm currently coming to you from Medicine Hat, Alberta, and this is my cousin's man cave. So welcome. All right, Capricorn, for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for being here again this month. And for those of you who are new here, a very warm welcome. Let's get started. This is going to be a general reading for all Capricorns, and we're going to look at the energies and the influences of what's coming up for you from May 15th through May 31st. If you're curious about why sometimes the timing doesn't line up with particular psychic or tarot card readings, please go back and watch my my April 1st through April 15th reading for your sign. I do go into significant details about timings for psychic readings and tarot readings. Also, I am available for private readings. If you are interested, I will leave links in the description. All right, Capricorns, let's get started. For those of you who are new here, I do work with a number of tarot decks as well as a number of oracle card decks. I pull all of the cards at first, and I do leave them sitting face down before I'm actually going to read them. This allows for more of the psychic and intuitive energies to come through rather than me being influenced by already seeing what's coming up for you. Okay. Capricorn. Okay, the first card that we're going to pull for you, Capricorn, is a card of where you are at now, here in the middle of May. Where are the Capricorns now? What energies are influencing them right now in this moment? Okay, we just have the one card that's come out. Set it off here. Okay, the next card that we're going to pull for you, Capricorn, is a card of what you are focusing on. I'm definitely getting pulled over here to Osho Zen. What are the Capricorns focusing on May 15th through May 31st? Is there anything else? There's another one. Anything else? Whoa! Just had a whole whack of cards come out there. Okay. All right, that was the first card. The second card, then we had two pop out at the same time. Okay. The next card that we're going to pull for you, Capricorn, is going to be a card of difficult influences. What may be difficult or challenging for the Capricorns from May 15th through May 31st? Okay, we're going to have to go through this a second time. So we didn't have anything jump out. Now, for those of you who are new and even those who are returning, you may notice that I don't tend to pull cards. I prefer to deal with cards that jump. I find that the cards know better than I do when it comes to which cards are meant to come out. So dealing with jumped cards, it's just how I like to read them. All right, is there anything going to come out here? So Capricorn, apparently you have nothing that's difficult. Actually, look at that. You've got a card that's sticking out. All the rest of the cards went nicely back in, and that one didn't. So we'll have a look at that one. Okay, the next card that we're going to pull is a card that just makes sense. And when I pull a just makes sense card, it has two purposes. One is it ties the rest of the reading together, or two, it has the identical meaning to another card in your reading, thus giving additional weight to the meaning behind those particular cards. All right. Let's have a look at this. Makes sense for Capricorn. Okay, we've got 2 or maybe even 3 cards that have jumped out there. Is there anything else that makes sense at this time? May 15th through May 31st. Okay, so we'll run with those 2 cards. So just 2 there, or is there a third one? Nope, 2. Okay. The next cards that we're going to pull for you, Capricorn, are going to be the cards of unexpected insights, unexpected influences. Where are we going? I'm getting pulled to this side. Where are we going? Unexpected. I think we're going here. You can see this one in my mind's eye. Unexpected. Oh, got it before it landed on the floor. What is unexpected for Capricorn this month? Okay. All right. And the final cards that we're going to pull for you are your general overall outcome. Where are we going? General overall outcome. Yep, back over here into the Osho Zen. So the general overall outcome are the cards that are predicting the longest into the future for you. As I'm pulling the cards here in the middle of May with the intention of covering the time period May 15th through May 31st. And the general overall outcome is predicting or projecting the energies that you will be under or being influenced by at the end of May. Through the deck one more time. General overall outcome, May, end of May for the Capricorns. Yeah. Ah, there we go. Wow. Okay. There was probably 10 or 12 cards that jumped out. So generally when that happens, it means that one of these cards is yours. No, there's not quite that many. There's 4. Okay. Well, I'll leave them in the order in which they came out and we'll read them in that order. All right. Where are you at now? Capricorn, you are at this point of needing to unleash the wild within you. I'm hoping that that's coming into focus. Yeah, we've got to focus. You are at the point of needing to unleash the wild within you. There is something within you that has been suppressed, that you have been suppressing, that really is not, it has not been allowed to express itself. And for some of you, what's coming up is that in general, you have not been permitted to express yourself at all. Wow. Capricorns, wow. I don't know if I want to go down this road. For many of you, I am picking up narcissistic relationships where you have been on the receiving end of, this is making me really uncomfortable. As someone who's experienced narcissism on the receiving end of narcissistic abuse, this one kind of hits a little bit close to home here, Capricorn. What's coming up for me is that for some of you, there has been a prominent person in your life at some point in time who had either was full-blown narcissist or had very strong narcissistic tendencies. And it caused you to suppress yourself in a way where you were not permitted to express who you truly are. And as you have created distance or separate, like I can see this chasm separating you from this narcissism. And so now, Capricorn, what I'm feeling is that there is this sense that you're ready to unleash this wild person within. And it's not so much that you're actually wild, but to the narcissist, to the person that had been controlling you in some way. And I'm not saying that all Capricorns here are victims of narcissistic abuse. That's not the road I'm taking. But what I am saying is that for many of you, there has been some control that's happened in your life where you weren't free to express yourself freely. And the reason that you weren't free to express yourself freely is because someone was, it might not have even been narcissistic abuse. It may have just been a question of someone saying, well, that's not nice. Don't say that, dear. Now, that's not narcissistic abuse, but it definitely suppresses this wild that is within all of us. Now, the wild is not necessarily about going out and acting completely crazy and doing something completely off the wall and inappropriate. But for example, being able to express ourselves freely is a fundamental right. And if we've had somebody in our life saying to us, now, dear, don't say that. That's not nice. You're not allowed to say something like that. Again, that's not narcissistic and that's not abuse, but it's definitely a suppression of the wild within us. So that's what's coming up for me, Capricorn, that for many of you, you are waking up from either a narcissistic suppression of who you are, or even on a very, very light scale, you're waking up from, hey, why can't I say that? Hey, why can't I dye my hair purple? Hey, why can't I wear a pair of jeans full of holes? All of these things, the ones I just mentioned, like, why can't you dye your hair purple? It's 2023, man, not 1953. Right? And as you're waking up from that, I really sense that here in the middle of May, where you're at now, you're waking up from that and going, hey, I'd like to be able to freely express myself without criticism, without judgment from others. All right, let's move into yes. Okay. What are you focusing on, Capricorn? Okay, what you are focusing on is control. This is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a very, very controlling individual, masculine energy here. So it's a little bit more forceful than if there were feminine energy. I'm not talking about male and female here. I'm talking about masculine energy versus feminine energy. And what I'm actually picking up for you, Capricorn, with this King of Swords is that right now is a time where you're looking at where you have been controlled, who has been doing the controlling, what serves your highest good and what does not serve your highest good. And that's part of unleashing this wild within. Now, interestingly, the next card that you have right next to this King of Swords, which is a control card, right, where we're exploring the control in our lives, where perhaps we're also controlling ourselves too rigidly based on traditions that no longer serve our highest good. You have the no thingness card. Okay, this card was represented by the number 5 in the traditional tarot in the major arcana, and this card is the Hierophant or Hierophant, however you want to pronounce that word. Ugh. Okay, what does this mean, Capricorn? The Hierophant in the traditional tarot is all about exploring institutions of learning, institutions of higher learning, institutions of religion. It's all about looking at traditions and going, oh, why doesn't that work for me anymore? Ooh, it's about looking at the bigger picture. It's about looking at not just the higher religions or the higher institutions of learning and how they serve us or no longer serve us, but even looking at something as simple as why do we do certain things certain ways? Well, a lot of us do certain things certain ways because our grandmother did certain things certain ways. Does that still serve our highest good? I don't know. Maybe it does. Our grandmother always cooked potatoes. Maybe you like to eat potatoes raw. I don't know. Did we cook potatoes because it was necessary to cook them because there was something in them that was released and they knew that intuitively? Or because they're poison if they're not cooked? So take, for example, cashews, okay? A raw cashew nut is poisonous to us. Cashews need to be roasted before we eat them as humans. So does that serve our highest good? Roasting cashews before we eat them? Absolutely. Our ancestors did it. We need to continue to do it. Potatoes, for example, the vast majority of people on the planet cook potatoes, but some people like to eat them raw. Is there anything wrong with that? No, probably not. They're not poisonous if they're eaten raw, right? So even digging down, this no thingness, this Hierophant card is about looking at why we do the things we do. Where did that come from? And does it serve my highest good to continue to do things that way? And right down from the way that we cook and eat our food, all the way up to the major religions and the institutions of higher learning. We could even take this to, who do you want serving your medical needs? Somebody who has gone to an institution of higher learning, or somebody who has learned about plant medicine from a shaman in an indigenous situation, right? This is what you are exploring on a really deep level right now, Capricorn. In fact, some of the other signs that I have read for already, May 15th through May 31st, have had this card come up as well. Okay. This is a global theme right now where we are looking at what serves our highest good and what doesn't. What from the past can we let go of and allow more authenticity to come through? Because that's what this card is about. The wild within is about being our authentic selves. Okay. You do have a card in reverse here. You have the Queen of Cups in reverse. This is the card of receptivity. What is this telling me in your reading right now, Capricorn? It's telling me that as you do this hard dig, this hard deep dive, this digging into, what serves my highest good, what doesn't, what can I release, what shouldn't I release? As you're doing this work, there is a piece of resistance to you. You're not necessarily being fully receptive to all of the information that's coming into you. The final card that you have for what you are focusing on is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is about fulfillment of a dream. Okay. This is about manifestation. What does this mean as far as your focus, what your focus is on? Wrapping this up, because this is getting very, very long for you, Capricorn, but you're in the process right now of looking at the controls that are in your life. Who has been controlling you? What has been controlling you? And you're at that point where you're prepared to let go of some of what has been controlling you and who has been controlling you. You're really, really digging deep. This is a deep dive card. You're digging deep and going, what works and what no longer works? Are you fully 100% receptive to all the information that's coming in? Not at this time. Okay. This is a lot to process right now, but ultimately when you do this work, when you do that work and you turn this card right side up so that you're receptive to the information that's coming in, anything is possible. You can make your dreams come true. So This card is also saying, because this is in the focus portion of your reading, what this card is telling me is that as you're doing this other work, your manifestations will become more immediate. Okay. In the past, if you wanted to manifest something, sometimes 3, 6, 8, 10 months, sometimes even over a year to try and manifest something, sometimes longer. Okay. What this is telling me is that as you explore this and you let go of some of the old paradigms, you let go of some of the old traditions that no longer serve our highest good, your manifestations, your dreams will come to fruition more quickly. Let's have a look at your difficult influence. Okay, your difficult influences is the sun. And the sun typically would show up in a reading as a very positive card. How are we doing for reflections there? The sun would normally show up as a very positive card. Everything is working out for you. Sunshine, rainbows, unicorns, all of these things. What this is telling me for you, Capricorn, is that at this time, it may appear as though some of your manifestations are not turning out the way that you wanted. This is one of those things of be careful what you wish for. Things do not always turn out exactly as you envisioned it, but you did get what you asked for. The story of Aladdin's lamp comes up for me. Okay. So this card being in your difficult influences is that your plans may not work out exactly as you had intended the manifestation to come out, but it will ultimately work out. It's just, it may appear a little different from what you had expected. All right. So in your This Makes Sense cards, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is about good news coming in about your money situation. Could be like a small windfall. This isn't a huge windfall. This typically is not representative of a lottery win, but it is an indication that there are some good things coming, good news coming about your financial situation. And the last card that you have in This Makes Sense, we still have 2 more piles of cards here to read, is your Three of Cups. Three of Cups. Now, interestingly, some of the other signs that I have read for already, that I've done their videos, prepared their videos for May 15th through May 31st, Capricorn, not only did they have the Hierophant represented, but they also had the Three of Cups come out. Three of Cups is about celebration. This is a card of good things are happening, but I also want to point out that the Three of Cups here has 3 women represented on it who are, kind of doing a big cheers here, and they're celebrating. When we have 3 women represented on a card such as this, it also represents the cycles that we go through in life. So oftentimes we go through a period of withdraw, a period of pulling back from things, and really doing this exploration of ourselves. And that can be a little bit lonely when we're doing that kind of work, but then we come out of that and we celebrate the changes and we celebrate the growth that we've experienced. So that's what's coming up for you as This Makes Sense. Wondrous Universe, walk in beauty. This is your unexpected. So this card would be kind of the equivalent to a magician card. It's a card of manifestation. Again, look, you've got the dream card coming out. Now you've got Wondrous Universe, walk in beauty. This is a card of, this is in your unexpected influences and unexpected insights. And this is telling me that, the world is your oyster. You have so many opportunities right now. The world is a wondrous place when you give it the opportunity to allow your manifestations to come out without previous judgments. This is a card of previous judgments. Control is a card of previous judgments. When you work through all of this previous junk, okay, when you unleash the wild within yourself, right? When you let go of control, when you stop suppressing what most of us walk through life. I'm getting this download. I'm getting told to say this. Most of us walk through life with a muzzle on. Most of us walk through life with a filter on our mouths because that's what we've been told to do. Oh, it's not appropriate to say that. Oh, don't say this. Oh, be careful what you wish for. Oh, be careful what you say. Well, okay, yes, be careful what you wish for sometimes, because as this card indicates, you may get what you wished for, but it might not appear in the manner in which you expected it to appear. But so many of us are walking around muzzled because our mom said, don't say that. That's not nice. Our teacher said, oh, you can't say that. That's not nice. Oh, don't say that. That's inappropriate. But when we let go of some of that, now I'm not saying go out there and be completely judgmental, because that also comes into play, Capricorn, where you have to look at where did those judgments come from? Perhaps the reason that you were told not to say something about someone else was because there was a preconceived notion or a preconceived judgment there. Again, coming back to this Hierophant, coming back to this no thingness. Okay. This is a really, really powerful reading. It's really deep, Capricorn, and it requires a really deep dive on your part into some pretty intense energies and some pretty intense themes, right? Why do we judge other people? Is that us, or is that a societal belief that came from our childhood, that came from our parents, that came from our grandparents, that came from our ancestors, because they were frightened about something, and so they created a judgment about something? And if we continue to perpetuate that, this wondrous universe isn't going to happen. This celebration isn't going to happen. Okay. And the wild that's going to come out will be an inappropriate wild, rather than an appropriate expression of our true selves. Your general overall outcome. Interesting. Did I have that? Okay. Okay, so your general overall outcome, where are you going to be at come the end of May, Capricorn? You have the Three of Swords here. This is a card of isolation. What is this card referring to? This is a card about withdrawing for a period of time, withdrawing, going within, and finding out what's true, what's real, what's right for me. This card confirms this card. You've got some work to do, and it's rather a deep dive that you need to do here, Capricorn. You need to go into that place of isolation, and you need to determine why you've suppressed your authentic expression. Did you do it because there was a narcissist in your life? Did you do it because society told you it was inappropriate? Why did society tell you that something was inappropriate to say? Why did you want to say that in the first place? Why did you want to do that? Why did you want to harm somebody else or insult somebody else? Where did that come from? This is your big theme and your big work right now, Capricorn. And I have to repeat this. This bears repeating. You're not the only sign, zodiac sign, going through this right now. Many, many of the signs are receiving the Hierophant. Many of the signs are receiving cards of celebration, but the Hierophant requires that we do some pretty deep work. Once you do the work, the outcome is going to be this 10 of Rainbows. 10 of Rainbows, also known as the 10 of Pentacles. known as one of the happiest cards in the deck. Incidentally, although the sun came up in your difficult influences, the sun is also known as one of the happiest cards in the deck. And you also received the Three of Cups. Again, a very happy card. So as much as you have some really, really deep, difficult work to do here, Capricorn, you also have some pretty amazing, fantastic cards. The World card is about celebration. And the other thing I want to mention is the World card is also about inclusiveness and recognizing that we're all the same, we're all equal. Watch where the judgments come from. All right. In your outcome, you also have the Eight of Wands. This is a card of traveling. This is a card of leaving behind that which no longer serves you. In the traditional tarot, and I don't think I can find the card quickly enough, or I would show you the picture on it, but in the traditional tarot, the Eight of Wands shows a picture of somebody in a boat moving away from something that no longer serves them. They're leaving it behind. They are traveling in order to just say, yeah, I'm leaving you behind. You no longer serve my highest good. The traveling card in this particular deck can indicate both physical travel, perhaps a vacation, and it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to take the vacation May 15th through May 31st. But you may be in that place where you're planning your next vacation and planting that seed that you are intending to travel, or you could be traveling. This can also indicate traveling in the sense that you're moving beyond who you used to be. And that is a form of travel, right? Changing realities is a form of travel, shifting realities, astral travel, any of these things can be represented by this card. But this is also a card of walking away from that which no longer serves you. What happens when you walk away from that which no longer serves you? When you've done this hard work, you have one more card here, Capricorn, you have the card of success. Okay. You've got Wondrous Universe here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles here. You've got the Sun coming in, and you've got the Three of Cups. You have so many cards of positivity here that once you've done this work, success. Throw your hands up in the air, let the confetti fly, and really, really celebrate. Come the end of May, really, really celebrate the deep dive and the shift and the change into being your true, authentic self. All right. Thank you, Capricorn. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. And I hope to see you again next month. Oh my goodness, we'll be into June by then. Take care.